So now we know very well that for a ductile material, the failure stresses are different, and for a brittle material, failure stresses are different. Now, first point we will write, if the component made up of ductile material is subjected to tensile stress, then what must be the failure stress? Again, I will repeat, if the component made up of ductile material is subjected to tensile stress, then what must be the failure stress? So failure stress, which we require to find out this permissible stress for a ductile material which is subjected to tensile stress, is SYT, and this SYT is nothing but yield strength in tension. This is the strength required in tension. Its unit is Newton per mm square. Okay, so similarly, if the component made up of ductile material is subjected to compressive stress, then we must consider failure stress as SYC. Its SYC is nothing but yield strength in compression. Again, its unit is Newton per mm square. Then third is, if the component made up of ductile material is subjected to shear stress. In certain situation, it may happen that component made up of ductile material is subjected to shear stress. Then in order to avoid that shear failure, or the failure stress for such component which is subjected to shear stress is SSY. So this is the failure stress for a component made up of ductile material which is subjected to shear stress. So this is the failure stress. So it is nothing but yield strength in shear. Again, its unit is Newton per mm square. Okay, now these are the failure stresses for ductile material. When the component is subjected to tensile stress, we have to take SYT. When the component is subjected to compressive stress, we have to take SYC. And when the component made up of ductile material is subjected to shear stress, we have to take yield strength in shear, that is SSY. Similarly, we can write for brittle material. We can write for brittle material. Now for brittle material, again we have to consider, if the component is subjected to tensile stress, compressive stress and shear stress, then what must be the failure stresses? So similarly, we can write first point, if the component made up of brittle material is subjected to tensile stress, we have to take SUT as a failure stress. So this SUT is nothing but the ultimate strength in tension. Ultimate strength in tension. Its unit is again Newton per mm square. Next, if the component made up of brittle material is subjected to compressive stress, then we have to take failure stress as SUC, that is ultimate strength in compression. Ultimate strength in compression. And similarly, if the component made up of brittle material is subjected to shear stress, then we have to take failure stress as SSU. That is similar to this SSY. It is, instead of yield strength, we have to write ultimate strength. That is ultimate strength in shear. That is, this is ultimate strength in compression, ultimate strength in tension. So similarly, we have to write here ultimate strength in shear. Again, its unit is Newton per mm square. So these are the failure stresses for ductile material. These are the failure stresses for brittle material. And depending on the loading condition, we have to select the failure stress. We have to put this value here. And values of factor of safety, we know general guidelines. So from this, we can calculate the permissible stresses. That is permissible tensile stress, permissible compressive stress, permissible shear stress, permissible bending stress. Now remember that very important point. Very important point. The value of SYT and SYC is, most of the time it is taken same. The value of SYT and SYC is most of the time it is taken as same, except quarter joint. For quarter joint, this relation is not valid. Okay, so I will explain while explaining quarter joint. So SYT is always equal to SYC except quarter joint. Then SUT is always equal to SUC. While designing machine components, we take SUT always equal to SUC, and similarly we take SSY is equal to half of SYT. Now we know that what is this SSY? SSY is nothing but the yield strength in shear, that is failure stress when the component is subjected to shear stress for a ductile material. So this is SSY, which is half of yield strength in tension. Similarly, relation between SSU and SUT. So we can take SSU is equal to 0.5 SUT. So these are the important relation you should remember. Relation between SYT, SYC, it is same for all the mechanical component except quarter joint, and SSY is equal to 0.5 SYT, SSU is equal to 0.5 SUT. Now next, from this basics we can now find out the permissible stresses. Now suppose component is subjected to tensile stress. Now suppose component is subjected to tensile stress. Now if the component is subjected to tensile stress, we must find the permissible tensile stress. So therefore permissible tensile stress, it is denoted by sigma t. Now permissible stresses can be calculated using this ratio failure stress upon Fs. Now remember that if the component is subjected to tensile stress, what must be the failure stress? So it depends on the material. So assume that we will find out this permissible stresses for ductile material. I will tell you how to find out permissible stresses for ductile material, and similar changes you can make for the brittle material. So all the equations that I am going to explain are for the ductile material. Now if the component subjected to tensile stress, what must be the failure stress for ductile material? It is yield strength in tension. So the permissible stress is equal to failure stress upon Fs, and failure stress for component subjected to tensile stress is SYT. So I will write here failure stress as SYT and upon Fs. So this is the equation of permissible tensile stress. Okay. Similarly, we can write the component subjected to compressive stress. If the component is subjected to compressive stress or compressive load, we have to consider the failure stress as SYC. That means this failure stress that we required here, we must take as a SYC for ductile material. So we can write here permissible compressive stress, which is denoted by sigma c. It is equal to failure stress is SYC because component is subjected to compressive load or compressive stress upon Fs as it is. So this is the equation of permissible compressive stress. Similarly, we can write here if the component is subjected to shear stress. The component is subjected to shear stress. Now in this case, we have to consider the SSY as a failure stress. So failure stress we have to take as SSY because component is subjected to shear type of stress or shear type of load. So at that time we have to find out permissible shear stress. So it is denoted by tau. So tau is equal to failure stress when the component is subjected to shear stress is SSY. So we have to write this failure stress as a SSY upon Fs. Further, we know the relation between SSY and SYT. So SSY is 0.5 SYT. So we can put this SSY is equal to 0.5 SYT upon Fs. Okay. So this is the relation for permissible shear stress. Now here 1, 2 and 3, these are the permissible tensile stress, permissible compressive stress and permissible shear stress, but this is for only ductile material. For brittle material you can find similar permissible stresses, just we have to replace this SYT by SUT, SYC by SUC, and here SSY by SSU, here SYT by SUT. So these are the only changes which are required for the brittle material. Now very important point I am going to tell you now here, important point that you must remember. This permissible shear stress, the value of permissible shear stress is same for direct shear stress as well as as well as torsional shear stress. Now, what is mean by direct shear stress and torsional shear stress? If the component is subjected to direct shear stress like this, that means two plates are there which are subjected to tensile load, and these two plates are joined by rivet. Now, in this case, this rivet is subjected to shear failure, and that shear failure is nothing but the direct shear failure because of the direct shear stress. So, in this case, if the diameter of rivet is d, okay, so you can write the equation tau is equal to P upon pi by 4 d square, that is cross section of rivet as pi by 4 d square. In this case, this tau you must take as a permissible shear stress. Similarly, when the component is subjected to torsional shear stress like shaft, now the shaft is having diameter d and it is subjected to torque. So in this case, the torsional shear stress we have to find out, and its equation is mt upon j into r. So in order to find out the diameter of this shaft, here tau must be taken as a permissible shear stress, and this permissible shear stress must be taken from this equation. That means whether component is subjected to direct shear stress or torsional shear stress, you must take this permissible shear stress as a same, that is obtained from SSY upon Fs, 0.5 SYT upon Fs. Okay, so irrespective of the direct shear stress or torsional shear stress loading condition, the torsional permissible shear stress value is same. So this is the very important point that you should remember. Now in the previous part we have seen that the permissible tensile stress, permissible compressive stress, or which is also called as permissible crushing stress. Then third we have seen that permissible shear stress, and fourth now is permissible bending stress, which is denoted by sigma b. So remember that this sigma b is always taken as equal to sigma t, and we know that sigma t is nothing but SYT upon Fs. It is for ductile material. For brittle material, just we have to replace this SYT by SOT. So this is the only change. Remember that sigma b is always equal to sigma t. Thus we can say that permissible bending stress is always equal to permissible tensile stress.